Thank you everyone for being here. It's a wonderful day, and I do want to assure you that OED made special arrangements for the weather. So, thank you, Carissa, for doing that. This is really a special occasion for us, and I want to thank all of you for being here. My name is Preeti Shridhar, and I'm the Interim Deputy Director of the Office of Economic Development. Apologies from Markham McIntyre, who's not been able to join us, so you have to make do with me. But we do have the Mayor and Councilmember with us, so I will not speak too much and not take up too much of your time. But this is a really special occasion. The Office of Economic Development is really excited today to celebrate the launch of the 2022 Commercial Tenant Improvement Fund. And this offers our businesses, especially our small business owners, the opportunity to apply for up to $100,000 to complete and build out projects for renovations of existing or new commercial spaces through the Tenant Improvement Fund. These applications are due September 8th by 5 p.m. and OED will have 2 information sessions, August 16th and 29th, and these will be recorded to answer questions, and information can be found on our website. What's unique about the Tenant Improvement Fund is there are 2 important resources, a capital fund that people can use for build out or renovation project for an existing space, and also a technical assistance fund for permitting or using general contractor space. So both hard construction costs as well as for costs that are the soft costs related to projects. And what we're looking to do is to provide real support for businesses so that they can come back to spaces that they currently occupy, or even look at places that they can go to that they may dream of, future spaces. And we want to partner as a city with our businesses, with our small businesses, and provide them with tools, give them opportunities so that they can have conditions to grow, to stabilize, and thrive in our city. And the Tenant Improvement Fund is one of these opportunities. Commercial affordability exists in a continuum, and OED, that is our vision right now, to create ways that makes the opportunities for small businesses thrive, and to use vacant areas to come back to life and to come back to be a way for long-term opportunities, not just for today but for the future. For some businesses, Seattle Restored, which is a program we recently have expanded, matches entrepreneurs to take them to transition from their brick and mortar places for affordable commercial space and secure space with short-term lease that will put them in a position to explore long-term opportunities. For businesses, they are looking for affordable ways to expand or improve these commercial spaces and build out in a new location that presents them with new opportunities. We know that the need will exceed the resources available based on the viability and the sustainability of the current businesses. Our small businesses do more than just provide the goods and services we love. They are the foundation to who we are and give us reasons to explore, eat, shop, share space with one another and throughout our city. In 2019, OED launched the Tenant Improvement Program as a pilot to respond to the growing affordability crisis that our small business owners were facing in our city. And we know that the pandemic only exacerbated these challenges, especially for the BIPOC businesses. Now, using federal funding, we can more than double the number of businesses we can support as our city continues to recover from these harsh impacts. I would now like to introduce and welcome Mayor Bruce Harrell.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. All right. I was going to sing because I feel simply soulful today. I'm going to speak over the noise here. Thank you, Preeti. As many of you know, Preeti Shridhar is our Office of Economic Development Deputy Director. And thank you for those words describing what we are feeling simply soulful about. We're excited to announce this $2 million investment in the Commercial Tenant Improvement Fund. Most importantly, we are taking applications right now. Now, why is this so important? And again, I think it's very appropriate that we are right here in the heart of the central district of the city. And when we talk about the soul, the culture, the rhythm, the feeling of one Seattle, this is what it's about. There's no substitution for hard work. So when you hear from Lillian Rambus and you feel what her mother, Barbara Collins, has taught her, and you feel their passion for restoring our city, you can't help but feel simply soulful. And then when you eat that food in there, you'll see what it's all about, as I have on many occasions. Of course, I had to remind them that on their other location. In all seriousness, at a time where housing is so expensive, a city that wants to stay diverse and fights against gentrification, this is how we build community. I'm seeing people in the audience right now that I grew up with here. I grew up not too far from here. I guess I'm so old that I've seen not only what was here before this, I saw what was here before what was before here was here. I go back several buildings ago. But what's most important as your mayor is what we will fight and what we will win on is making sure that we get the diversity, the small business support. When it's so hard to compete in an e-commerce world, there's some things e-commerce cannot bring. And that is the experience when you walk in this door. Multi-generational experience. The food that you eat. The artwork and the stories that you will hear and see in this place. And if you look at it cosmetically, aesthetically, it's beautiful. The open environment, meeting places, open space. So what the city of Seattle are embarking upon is an opportunity for small businesses to receive $100,000 in grants that can go toward commercial tenant improvement or projects and to build out a new commercial location. I emphasize the word new. We're trying to create things where perhaps people have overlooked it. Perhaps it's gotten vacant, it's gotten quiet. We activate new areas to bring one Seattle together, such we're not talking past one another, but we're listening. I couldn't help but notice and hear the music when I went inside, and I saw a picture of Cicely Tyson and Etta James, people who, particularly in the African American community, have special meaning and special purpose. That's what this program is all about, to sort of humanize the experience. Transcends just simply eating a good, what's your signature dish? Is it a waffle, some grits? Talk to her, brother. What's shrimp and grits? Shrimp and grits. Transcends just eating shrimp and grits. And some of you are thinking, what are grits? Well, for those that have come from New Orleans, Louisiana, like myself, or at least my parents, we're very familiar with grits. Under the leadership of Preeti, who you heard from, and Director Markham McIntyre, who's a little under the weather, who couldn't make it, you're going to see more and more of these kinds of programs. the capital access program that we rolled out, Seattle Restored. In our mind, in the One Seattle movement, those are just fans out there. Don't worry about it. See, they're One Seattle, One Seattle. We are going to be very, very intentional about building community, building small businesses. We employ from our communities. We give second chances to those who've made perhaps mistakes that they would want to do over. We build our community from within. And that's why I'm so excited to be here. And that's why I'm so excited to announce our next speaker. A friend of the council, a friend of the community, Councilmember Sara Nelson.
Thank you, Mayor Harrell, and thank you very much for hosting us here today. So I am a small business owner myself, and I'm a perfect example of someone who did not get funding for tenant improvements. And I'll tell you why it's so difficult to get that money. And it's because the vast majority of small businesses in Seattle do not own their building, right? And so if you have to make improvements, like putting in a new floor, it's hard to get a loan because that's an improvement to the landlord's property. And unlike a piece of equipment, it's very hard to seize if the small business owner defaults on a loan. And so banks don't want to take that risk. And so this program it provides financial resources that fills a gap and allows for small businesses to make those improvements, move to a new space, and most important, this program removes a barrier to long-term success. All right, so that's sort of why, from a personal perspective, this program is so important, and I applaud its expansion. But I'm going to tell you my main reason why I love this program, and that's because it allows it provides a powerful tool that helps me meet a major policy goal, which is reducing the displacement of BIPOC-owned businesses so that they can stay in Seattle and thrive long term. And that is really key, because what this is doing is it's hard to explain. It gets resources in the hands of people that really need it right now to go forward. And so this provides the capital that will allow a business to improve a space, expand their business. But the story I often hear, which is heartbreaking, is the small business that loses its lease. And then what are they going to do? Well, this provides some seed money that's very important to allow a business to move within the neighborhood and keep that wealth and those jobs in the neighborhood, in community, for so long. And so I thank Mayor Harrell and OED for putting their muscle behind this program, adding $2 million of new money to enable more small businesses to access and also continue creating the community that we love in Seattle. And I just can't say enough about how important this is. So I will stop now, and it's my honor to present to you the brains behind Simply Soulful, Lily Rambus.
That would be me. You guys come on. Thank you, dear. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I have my mother, Barbara Collins, who's also my co-owner, and Mr. Green, Mark Green, who from Green Home Redesign, who actually helped us fulfill or actually finish the build out of the space. We're just delighted and thankful to be here on 23rd and Jackson. Of course, it's a very historic corner in the Central District, the home of the old promenade, the Red Apple. Many of us growing up in Seattle, of course, frequented these spaces, and it means a lot to us to be here. We'd also like to thank our landlord, Vulcan, for the opportunity to be here. And when they made a commitment to the community to say that they were going to keep BIPOC or Black-owned business in the Central District, that they very much fulfilled that promise, and we're very thankful for that. OED as well, getting the lease and getting the space is one thing, but like the councilwoman said, the next step is, how am I going to build this space out? So OED was able to provide us with the funds that helped us to buy all of our equipment for our space. I don't know if many people have frequented our Madison location, but obviously it's a major upgrade. And you know, the equipment is one of the biggest pieces that we wanted to fulfill. So I don't. Do you have anything else to say about OED or?
I am just happy, excited
Yeah.
to have a commercial kitchen.
Yes.
Compared to what I had, and I really thank you guys for doing that.
Yes.
And having, helping us out. Thanks for the blessings.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Green.
I'll say something real
Yeah,
quick.
see.
I'd like to thank Simply Soulful for allowing me the opportunity to build out their space for them. Although the mother was really tough and we had to arm wrestle from time to time, but I'm really, really happy and I'm glad that they enjoy the space. I also like to thank Vulcan Realty for giving me an opportunity to provide this for these guys, and yes, thank you.
So thank you again, and I hope that many people are blessed from the OED Tenant Improvement Fund the way we were, and we'd like to welcome everybody in to enjoy some of our shrimp and grits or chicken and waffles or many of our other dishes that we provide. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian, for sharing your wonderful story. I just want to say thank you to Mayor Harrell, for Councilmember Nelson, for all of you for being here today. I also want to thank OED staff. Some key things to remember: lots of great money, so please don't forget to take this opportunity to apply for the grants. They're due September 8th. And would like to open it up for any questions.
I know 2 million, but how many more applications is that? And how many businesses have already taken advantage of the $100,000?
So do you have the number, Carissa? So there were 20 to 30 projects in September 8th, and we can give grants up to $100,000. So there are opportunities, and you can see how amazing the options are. So we do encourage people to apply. And it's simply soulful, but also simply sensational. So.
And that's up from about 8 or so units.
It is? Okay. And I'm sort of curious about that. This is wonderful for the businesses, and I appreciated hearing what Councilmember Nelson said in terms of how difficult it is in terms of your leasing the property, and I'm sure Lillian, part of you concur. But what about what comes next? Because you're leasing it, but you want to own it in a certain way, right? So what is the city thinking about in terms of next steps? Am I getting ahead of myself, or is that on the drawing board?
Take it, or you got it?
Go ahead.
So that's a great question. So this is one tool of many tools, and so we always want, one of the best things a small business could do is actually purchase real estate. It could be a means of retirement for them, and they can invest some capital in ownership. So under what we do is we give technical advisory advice and assistance in Office of Economic Development to look at all the needs in a business. And I must say, however, that there's no substitute for hard work. That even leasing takes a lot of work, and when you have a good lease, a good attractive lease, and you have a supportive landlord as they have now, that's a tool of success. So we don't look at just keeping everyone in the renter's market. We treat home ownership the same way. When we look at the rental rates, we want to get people in home ownership as well. So our same philosophy toward ownership will apply, and OED has been a trusted partner in this work. Thank you.